The Texans have one of the best quarterback rooms in the league, but what if they were looking to make a move and grab some assets by getting rid of one of the quarterbacks in their room?
To throw the punches on. He floats one wide open, and there he goes. Tagged down for a Texan touchdown.
The Texans quarterback room is pretty stacked, and a big part of that is the depth. CJ Stroud is obviously the most important part of that as the starter, but with names like Davis Mills and Case Keenum, the room is set up for success. Now, there's been clamoring from the fan base for some time that maybe the team should try and trade Davis Mills and recuperate some assets before he inevitably goes on the free agent market after this coming season. Up until recently, those feelings weren't really substantiated by any sort of rumors, but recently a rumor spread that Davis Mills was on the trading block. Now, I know what you're thinking. What made anyone believe the Texans were going to trade Davis Mills? And if you don't like Davis Mills, you might think, well, it's obvious because it's Davis Mills, but there's a little more reasoning to it. Let's step through the chain of events. The start of this is after the Steelers game in the week of practice that we're in right now. The Texans did not practice Davis Mills, and there was a 2-day stretch where he didn't even touch the field, didn't even dress out, and that started the speculation. As it goes a lot of times with Texans rumors, it kind of ran around for a few hours on Twitter until Aaron Wilson, Texans insider, put out a report that Davis Mills suffered a hit during the Steelers game, had some sore ribs, and needed to sit, and that they were resting him. Now, this is one of two things. I mean, I trust Aaron Wilson, and I believe that the Texans legitimately were resting him because of that. But it also would be sensible to withhold Davis Mills from practice if there was a deal in place that you believed would ship Davis Mills off for the value you're looking to get for him. Davis Mills was a third-round pick in 2021, the Texans' first pick in the draft, and so if you could get close to that compensation, I think it makes sense. But to counter that, I don't think that the compensation for Davis Mills is likely that high, and I think that his value as the Texans' backup quarterback is more worthwhile, even if it's just for this next year, and hopefully the Texans can work out an extension if that's what Mills wants to do. But high-level backups don't like to remain backups. So we'll see how that goes. If the timing's right, that could very easily be it. But I think that unless you're getting a third or fourth round pick for Davis Mills, I don't see the value in moving on from him. I alluded to it before, but I'll make one last point. I just simply don't understand the hate for Davis Mills from the perspective of where we're at now. Texans fans, I think, saw what Davis Mills did trying to get the starting role and are still stuck viewing him through the lens of quarterback that didn't perform good enough and was the face of this team when it was losing. And when you view it through that lens, yeah, Davis Mills can't stand the guy. Didn't really do well and never really took advantage of the opportunities that he had. But when you view it through the lens of him being an experienced quarterback who has experience in Bobby Slowick's system and could reasonably be called upon to step in short-term relief of CJ Stroud and provide decent play at quarterback, I mean, I don't see any reason to not like him. And if I'd challenge you to look around the league and find a quarterback room that you like better. Find a backup quarterback on a roster right now that you like better. And I could imagine you can't name very many backup quarterbacks that you would like to have better than Davis Mills. Well, thanks for tuning into this bullpen bit. If you like the show and you want longer content, then make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or if you're watching, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can stay in the know on the Texans. Thanks for watching. As always, stay classy, Houston, and vamos Texans. Thanks for tuning into The Bullpen, a Texans podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow along for more Texans talk from The Bullpen.